Hello, it's Tony here from Lockster Reads. Hope you're all doing very well. Um, I thought I'd do a quick update on the first day of Remembrance Reads. You might be thinking, but it's not. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Why are you doing an update? Because I've been up since an ungodly hour of the morning. So I've done some reading. I started David Jones's In Parenthesis. It seemed appropriate for the reasons that it is the foundational book for my Remembrance Reads. It's also David Jones's birthday today, and I read part one. I did what I said I was going to. Well, the introduction of part one, which is what I said I was going to do. I'm going to read one section a day for the first week of Remembrance Reads. It is there's an introduction from T.S. Eliot, and then there's a preface from David Jones himself, where he says one of the things I think I should read is this sort of point. I have been hampered by the convention of not using impious or impolite words, because the whole shape of our discourse was conditioned by the use of such words. The very repetition of them made them seem liturgical, certainly deprived them of malice, and occasionally, when skilfully disposed and used according to established but flexible tradition, gave a kind of significance, and even, at moments, a dignity to our speech. So basically, there's no swearing in this book, which always seems a bit of an odd thing in books about World War One. The part one begins 49 Wyatt, 01549 Wyatt, coming sergeant, pick 'em up, pick 'em up. I'll stalk with you within your chamber. Private leg, sick, private ball, absent. 01 ball, 01 ball, ball of number 1. Where's ball? 25201 ball. You, corporal, ball of your section. Movement round about the commanding officer. Bugler, will you sound orderly sergeants? So they're on parade. They're about to march off to France. Section 1 ends with the line, you feel exposed and apprehensive in this new world. Section 1, part 1 is the most straightforward and simple section of the book. It only has 7 notes, most of which refer to what fundamentally military jargon, and what there's a couple. There is one reference to a painting, The Rout of San Romano by Paolo Uccello, which is in the National Gallery apparently, so I might try and have a look at that next time I'm there. And there's also the title, also which is the Many Men So Beautiful, is from Coleridge. And there's also, I believe, a quote from E. Gododin, which I need to check the spelling or the pronunciation of. Every time I pronounce it in my sort of bad Welsh, I give it a slightly different pronunciation. I really should learn how to read it. I might actually reread the Gododin. There you go again. As part of this, it's a very short poem, but I think it's key to this book. So started that, which I'm very pleased with. And no extra notes this time, no extra bookmarks. And then the other two things I read chapter 1 of The Great War and Modern Memory by Paul Fussell, as part of a reread, to sort of give some background to the general reading that I'm doing. And I also started the first chapter in that book is focuses on irony and the use of irony, about which, and I'll come to that as we go along. Then I thought I'll start with something that I've not read before, which is Ernest Hemingway's Farewell to Arms. This is the first Hemingway I've read, and my initial thing to the thump of short, straightforward sentences was a bit odd. It sort of felt too simple and too straightforward. But I think once you get into the rhythm of it, it becomes quite enjoyable. I don't think I've ever read a novel from its era which is so shorn of literary showing off, if that's the wrong word. That's probably the wrong phrase. I'm not sure where I am with it so far, and it seems to be as much a love story as a story about war. I'm on to chapter 10, which is page 58. I'll probably finish that this weekend if I put some more reading time aside. I've also added a book to the list. I thought I'd lost this when I first moved. I moved into this house 10 years ago, virtually to the day. And I thought I'd lost this, so I didn't put it on my thing. But I was looking for something else. This is the best way to find things, by the way. Go look for something else. I found my copy of the complete memoirs, memoirs of George Sherston, which is Siegfried Sassoon's fictional stories of George Sherston. There are three. This is 3 books in one. So it's Memoirs of a Fox Hunting Man, Memoirs of an Infantry Officer, and Sherston's Progress. The most well-known one is probably Memoirs of an Infantry Officer, which is often published separately. I love this book. When I had it, I said I was slightly distraught to lose it 10 years ago, and I'd read it about 6 or 7 times, the whole thing over and over again. It is brilliant writing. It is allegedly for work of fiction, but it's a very thinly disguised memoir of Siegfried Sassoon's sort of childhood into war, through war, and out the other side. I've added this to my list because I definitely need to reread this. It's been a long time. So that's where we are. A short video on day 1 of Remembrance reads. I'll try and vary these to be a bit more interesting than this first one, but I wanted to do them because I want to it keeps me honest in my approach to the reading. I am still trying to structure what I'm going to read when, but I think what I've started with for the moment is perfectly fine. And I look forward to catching up with you all tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.